Today, I'm going to show you what it's like to drive a 2006 Ford GT. You'll notice this car, I'm going to do a walk around because it's so gorgeous, is painted in the Heritage livery. Now, only 343 Ford GTs were made in this color scheme. There was about 4,000 total made between 2005 and 2006. So that makes these more desirable as a collector's item. The crazy part is, it was only a $13,000, I say only because the number I'm about to say is going to be a lot higher. It was a $13,000 paint option in 2006, sorry. But now these cars are commanding absolutely massive premiums over the normal colored ones. These Heritage cars are now going for upwards of a couple $100,000 more than the normal painted ones. If you get the stripe delete option or some more rare colors, they can command a premium. But think about $200,000 to $300,000 for your average colored Ford GT, and anywhere from $400,000 to $600,000 and even more for a low mileage Heritage Ford GT. We're gonna let her rip. So the 05-06 Ford GT was built to commemorate 100 years of Ford and the 40th anniversary of the original GT40. Now, some background on that. The GT40 was built and it competed in Le Mans, winning 4 straight years in a row from 1966 to 1969. The first American car ever to win the event, and it beat Ferrari. Now, this 2006 model was built to commemorate that, and once again, now in 2017, you've got the new Ford GT model. This car has a 5.4-liter supercharged V8, which produces 550 horsepower and 500 pound-feet of torque. It only comes with a 6-speed manual, whereas the new car only comes in an automatic. Some characteristics that make driving the Ford GT very unique. For one, when you look in the rear view mirror, the only thing you see is the giant supercharger. This is not a luxury car whatsoever. When it came out, the MSRP was around $140,000, but it could still compete on a performance level with the Ferraris and Lamborghinis of its time. So if you look at the seats, the design language isn't the best. It has a retro vibe to hark back to the original model. I actually really like the way it looks, but these seats are some of the most uncomfortable seats I've ever been in. I love the steering wheel. The steering wheel is very small, and it makes this car feel more nimble. And it is really light as well. A bunch of aluminum and magnesium was used in the Ford GT, which give this a curb weight of 3,350 pounds. So that power to weight ratio is fantastic for acceleration. 0 to 60 on the Ford GT, 3.4 seconds, even with a rear-wheel drive layout. Now, surprisingly, because you've got the engine, it's a mid-engine car, you've got extra weight over those rear wheels. So despite being rear-wheel drive, you actually get a decent amount of traction and can floor it most of the way in first gear, and then second on, you absolutely hook. The car feels very, very nimble. Just the smallest steering wheel inputs bolt the car back and forth. This is absolutely a driver's car, and one of the most, if not the most fun cars to drive that I've ever had the pleasure of piloting. Got great visibility over the front. Side visibility is okay, but out the rear, it's not very great. Backing this car up is definitely a bit scary, high CHP, especially because of the values nowadays. There's no backup camera, anything like that. Now, I made a video a while back, 6 reasons why I hate the Ford GT. Those are just 6 things that are pretty annoying about this car. But overall, this is still in the top 3 best cars I've ever driven. Definitely in the top 5 best cars ever, in my opinion. And yes, I can put the car in reverse with one hand. This car has a Borla exhaust. The exhaust note really intrudes into the cabin. It's actually decently isolated from the road, wind noise wise, but exhaust penetrates into the cabin really, really well. It's an awesome combination. And with that engine mounted right behind you, it's a very visceral experience driving the Ford GT. Unlike really any other car. For the rest of this, I'll stop talking. Like always, please browse our channel and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you next video. Let's let the Ford GT speak for itself.